Earlier today, I was going about my business as usual when out of nowhere I received a DM in my Instagram account from a fellow ASMR colleague of mine who goes by the name of Pierdan ASMR. For those of you who don't know who this is, Pierdan ASMR is a Peruvian ASMR content creator who's been around for about 4 years, and in that time has been able to amass an impressive subscriber count of over 590,000 unique subscribers. Some of his videos have received millions of views, and he's been known over the years to create sort of a fast and aggressive, through his comedic, absurdist style of humor, rather impressive videos. But when he went ahead and Instagram DM'd me and told me a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes of his life, behind the camera, I was deeply disturbed, because this person is not only in such a difficult time in their lives, but their entire life, frankly, has been quite sad and heartbreaking, if you will. To make this as easy for you to understand, I'm going to go ahead and sort of give you the timeline of Pierdan's life from beginning till now, whilst also intersecting parts of my points with our interview, I suppose. Due to his limited English, it's pretty difficult, and I had to do a little bit of digging to just really try to understand what's going on, so I'm going to do my best to not miss out any information. Ever since he was young, Pierdan has always had a very strained relationship with his family. He didn't have the best parents. When he was young, his brother and his father, as well as himself, went to LA where they lived for an amount of time, but Pierdan ended up getting into a sort of terrible argument with his father, where the relationship was essentially destroyed after that. He then moved back to Peru, and then a few years later, 7 years ago, he moved once again to LA with his brother, and at this point had essentially lost all contact with his father. He doesn't have a phone number and hasn't spoken to him in ages. He's also got no relationship at this point with his mother, as there's always been very toxic things going on in the family. Do you live by yourself? Do you live with family?
All like very broken, and they don't have contact with me too. Yeah, I don't have relationship. It's mainly about money because I came from lower class here in where I live. Yes, it's with other people too, multiple people. It's all about money. That's why my family is very broken. That's why I heard since I was very young. It's all about the money and other issues.
And what about your brother?
I came with my brother 7 years ago. I don't talk to him because it's not good relationship too.
So you have no family that you can rely on.
Yeah, the worst is that I don't have numbers or contacts or friends.
In fact, just tomorrow, from when I'm filming this video, Pierdan's mother is actually going to court to go ahead and go into disputes financially with other members of the family. I'm not too sure very much of these details exactly, but it's quite a mess, as I'm sure you can tell, and the TLDR is that he has no relationship essentially with his family. Over the 7 years that he's been in America, he's essentially lost a relationship with his brother. And so at this point, he hasn't had much of a family to rely on. At some point in time for the past 7 years, he has stayed with his aunt and cousins. However, the relationship was strained as well. And so what ended up happening 3 years down the line is he got kicked out. In fact, his aunt actually phoned the police, and apparently, according to Pierdan, allegedly filed a false complaint that Pierdan was attacking them.
They hated me so much with my uncle and my cousin, everyone. And my aunt called the police on me and kicked me. The police kicked me out from that house. I got into an argument with my aunt, and she lied to the police saying that I was attacking her and I was a threat. And she said so many fake things to the police, and the police told me to leave her address.
From that point on till now, Pierdan has essentially leapt from hotel to hotel, Airbnb to Airbnb, motel to motel, trying to find a place to stay. It got so bad to the point where earlier this year, Pierdan went ahead and tried to go for a little bit of a holiday to New York, where he was falsely accused by a shop owner for shoplifting.
She said that I stole something from her store, but it wasn't true. No records because I went to the Supreme Court building. I asked for my name and I have clean records.
There was no evidence against him, and essentially what Pierdan was extremely worried about was this person going ahead and fortifying and creating false evidence. And it got so bad, in fact, to the point where Pierdan ended up receiving what was believed at the end of the day to have been a false call, or whatever it might be, from the police saying that they have a warrant for his arrest. As scared as he was, he left, and essentially, by the time he got back, all of his stuff had been stolen, from his computer, to his camera, to his cash that he had withdrawn. All of it was gone. All your stuff is gone?
Yes, no, the reason is that when I was at 9 a.m., I woke up in the hotel.
Okay.
That's why I got the fake call. And I got scared and I went, like crazy. I shouldn't have run away because it was a fake call. I got trolled and I believe it.
One of the things that I also didn't understand in Pierdan's video was the fact that people were apparently threatening his life. And what essentially ended up happening was, because he had no money, he had to borrow money from loan sharks. And of course, because he couldn't pay it back, they started threatening him with his life. You posted, how come you say that people are trying to kill you? What's happening there? What's happening there?
Yeah, I make a loan to a dangerous people,
How much money have you borrowed from these people?
like 700 to 1,000. They say they will find me and they will beat me up, stuff like that.
And so he ended up having to go on a 4-day long bus from New York back to LA, and is now staying at some sort of Airbnb, some sort of motel. It's gotten too expensive though, so now he's decided to move to Mexico, where the plan is to essentially live there. This person clearly does need help, and it seems to me what's going on is just bad luck instance after bad luck instance after bad luck instance. I'm not too sure exactly of all the details, as it was pretty difficult to navigate the conversation as he has a limited understanding of English. And I'm sure, again, this is just one person's account, so I don't know what's going on from other people's accounts as well, so that's also important to say, of course. But clearly this is a person who needs help. So what I've gone ahead and done, as I've said, is put a link in the description box down below, where if you want, you can donate to him. And so, yeah. Hopefully he can go ahead and keep posting videos, as he makes some very entertaining ones at that. But I wanted to go ahead and just sort of highlight the situation that he's going through. So that's the video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.